It must take a lot of time and dedication to put towards creating music, a lot of practice. How do you find the balance between hanging out with your friends and your family and practicing music and producing music and all that? I mean, how do you find the time to do all that?
It's scheduling. Scheduling is so important. Like anything else in life, if you want it to be good at something or be involved with something, you have to put the time and energy into it. And so it's prioritizing and knowing, okay, this time is for my friends. And it's really important to make sure you have that time for friends and family, because if you don't, well, you'll burn yourself out. But yeah, it's just making sure that you have time to do everything, and then knowing that you're human and you're not going to have time to do everything, and saying, okay, I need to let go of this because I can't do this right now, but knowing that you can later on.
Yeah, realistic goals.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. So you obviously have a really strong support network at home. Do you have a support network outside of the house as well that keeps you going?
Very much so. It's my friends are like so supportive of me, and if I'm like, hey, I have a gig and I don't have access to a car, they'll be like, okay, I'll come pick you up, we'll drive your keyboard. It's always my keyboard. If it was just me, it'd be easy, but it's always my heavy big keyboard. And so they're always supportive, and just so many people in the Greek community, I'm so thankful, because they always, like, if I post something, they're always like, that's awesome, and they're always like, oh, keep sharing, we want to know more. And then like other people like add me, especially on Facebook, and they're like, hey, so-and-so told us about you and we love your music. And so it's like this lovely, like, wonderful community that supports me, and I'm so blessed to have that.
Yeah, you are very lucky. That's amazing. I mean, it just keeps you going, like whenever you have like a down day, to just read those posts and just experience the support. That's amazing. Have there ever been times where you've tried to, like, let's say, make a team, a group, a band or whatnot, and haven't quite made it? And if so, how have you like bounced back to be the bubbly person you are today?
It's knowing that you're human and things don't always work out the way, actually any project, doesn't matter what you plan in life, nothing will happen exactly the way you plan it. So it's knowing that, and knowing that if something doesn't work out, it's because something better is going to come along, and so to accept it and grow from it, the experiences, positive or negative.
So very well said. So, everyone's got someone that they look up to with respect to whatever they're doing. So in the music industry, who inspires you to do what you do besides your mother?
That's a really hard. I love so many artists. I think the biggest thing, if I like an artist, they have to be an artist that doesn't follow sort of the main spectrum of what's expected of an artist. So I really like artists like Matt Dusk, who's a Canadian jazz singer who is always finding new ways of collaborating and creating new ways of interpreting art and jazz. I also like a European artist called Cara Emerald, and she's sort of a jazz hip-hop artist. So she's a really jazz voice, then she works with like hip-hop artists and creates these like crazy beats and stuff. I also love people like Lang Lang, who are like crazy classical pianists, and like you're in a leather tuxedo, like so to me it's not just like about being a great musical artist, it's about being a great performer, and just get out there and do something different. I'm tired of like the Beyoncés and Rihannas of the world. We have enough of them, and they were great for that time because they were the new idea, but now we need new ideas. Stop copying other people.
Well, I'm super excited to hear some of this wonderful music that you're talking about, so how about we go and listen to some of it? What are you gonna be performing for us? You be singing, playing the piano?
I'm gonna play and sing, and I think I'll do my new single, Cup of Tea.
Cup of Tea sounds good. Let's listen to it.
Awesome. Hey, good looking, where you heading for? Don't tell me, I'm heading there myself, and I thought I'd say hello. Would you like a cup of tea with me? For two souls traveling side by side are easier than one. You say you ain't got pennies, but a love like ours is pennies from heaven. You say the rent ain't paid, got news for you, who cares? I know a little beach in Mykonos, one where the the sun shine bright and the crystal sands are white. Don't fly away now, don't you want a love like ours? 'Cause when you take me in your arms, the stars come out to play. Would you like a cup of tea? Would you like a cup of tea? Would you like a cup of tea with me? For two souls traveling side by side are easier than one.
So have you had an album in the past?
Yes, in December 2011, I released my first CD. It was called Life, because it was about my experiences and things that I went through for about 10-year period, and then I kind of expressed them.
Yeah. What kinds of things? I mean, you know, everyone's got so many different stories when it comes to life. What kind of things are in that album?
There's a lot of things. Everything from getting your heart broken to falling in love to just different pain, and my mother passed away during that period, so some of the piano pieces were about that as well. So just things that I went through in my life, and and some were covers that I rearranged, and then other ones were originals.
And then you have another album coming out shortly, correct?
Yes, I'm hoping to release it in September. I don't have a name for the album yet, but I just released a single from it, and it's called Cup of Tea.
Cool. And is it the same motivation behind the lyrics for this upcoming album as well? Like stories from yourself, from your life?
Yes, totally. Like Cup of Tea it's based off a friend when she met her husband. She told me the story, and I was like, oh, that's such a cool song. So idea for a song. So I sat down and I wrote lyrics based off what she told me. So Cup of Tea is all about meeting that special person for the first time and not knowing where it's gonna go, but just knowing that something's gonna happen. And I'm feeling so good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean? Sleep in peace when day's done.
And I know that there are a lot of aspiring artists out there, musicians, piano players. What are some positive words of advice that you could provide to them to let them know that they can be where you are today? You've already had an album released, and you're having one being released in September, hopefully. What are some words of advice that you can provide to them to let them know that they can reach their full potential?
So first and foremost, learn your art. Don't just think that you're going to be able to do it. So go study with the best. Find the best teacher. It's kind of like Confucius said, when your student's ready, you'll find the teacher. So go out there, hunt for a teacher. And then once you do, start exploring, and don't feel that you have to be a certain genre or a certain style because that's what sells. Step out of the box, do something different. And then if it doesn't work, try something else. So it's always about trying and knowing that some things won't work, but then other things will be absolutely amazing and beautiful, and that's what you want to do. Yeah.
Very well said. Thank you so much. I wish you nothing but the best of luck in your future endeavors, and I'm looking forward to the next album that comes out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.